Well, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. I had planned on coming on and giving you some notification a lot earlier, but I sat in my chair and fell asleep, and I'm trying to get in here before the State of the Union takes place at 9 o'clock. That is when the president of our country is going to come forth and address the State of the Union. There's a Republican who has decided that they're not going to attend because they don't want to. They're not going to sit there and listen to him lie. I just think some of these people are literally out of control. I think there is some level of mental psychosis that has permeated the conscious, if there is a conscience of some people, to the point that they wouldn't know a lie from the truth if it slapped them in the face. And so I'm just amazed from time to time. I'm just absolutely amazed at the level of stupidity and ignorance that prevails in the culture that claims to be the intellectually elite. I'm just amazed at that. Good evening, Cecile. How are you? I sent you that email, so you might want to check and see. And that lesson is in the mail. Good evening, Faye. How are you? Thank you so much for being with us. I'm not going to keep us long. I'm on a clock because I want to make sure I get off. So for those of you who would like to watch, you'll be able to watch the State of the Union. It should be interesting to see how many of that certain persuasion begin to boo and heckle, kind of like what they did President Obama. So we'll see. We'll see if that level of stupidity continues to raise its ugly head. Okay. All right. Just wanted to make sure that you got it. That's good. Debbie Johnson, Elder James, Mansell, thank you. Lisa, thank you. Hey, Kim, how are you? And so at first I said I wasn't going to watch it. And because I know that some of the antics that are going to take place in the chamber are going to make me so ridiculously mad, Kim, that I said, nah, I'm just not going to be bothered with this. Daryl Harvey, how are you, sir? And I said, no, the good, the bad, the ugly, and in the midst of everything, just want to hear what they have to say. Elder Rosetta Carter, good evening to you. And so I said, let me get on now without any preempting and share a little something with you. And then I'm going to be doing this probably every evening except for tomorrow. I may put that in there. Okay. Yeah, Kim. I'm to the point. Yeah, I'm to the point that these people are the highest level of stupidity that I've ever seen in my life among a culture that claims intellectual supremacy. And in the midst of that, they continue to show just how ignorant they are. And the beautiful thing about who we are as a people, we are tolerant. And in the midst of that, but we don't want to be doormats either. And sooner or later, somewhere along the road, uh, payback will knock on their door. Listen, was this fast worth it? I'm going to be on here for just a couple of minutes and share with you. Yeah, Elder Carter. I'm just like, wow. This is day 36. Um, I don't really have the strength that I used to. I'm not weak, but it has taken in I'm to the point now where I just can't do as much as I've done before due to the fact that it's been a sacrifice. Was it worth it? To me, yes, it was worth it. It still is worth it. It will be worth it because through this sacrifice, and that's the word that I'm using, sacrifice. Um, I've been able to see God work. I've been able to hear Him clearly. Now, I'm not saying that I have been perfect during the fast. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I'm seeking a perfect God in the midst of my imperfections, in the midst of inconsistencies, in the midst of moments of temptation and all the rest. Hey, Katrina Foster, how are you? What I've noticed during the fast is a higher level of grace and mercy. What I've noticed during the fast is a higher level of commitment and determination. What I have learned during the fast is that God is my source, my supply, my all in all, my everything. What I've learned during the fast is that God will supply. Hey, Tom, how are you, Tom? God will supply every need in my life, even when I don't deserve them. God has shown himself mighty, revealed himself to be who he is. And I don't know about anybody else, but I'm basically just coming on to talk about me. Was it worth it? Is it worth it? Yes, it is. To be able to hear his voice clearly, to be able to comprehend the unsearchable riches of his word, to be able to communicate them in ways as never before, to be able to express the very power of God in ways as has never been experienced before. Good evening, Thea Grace. And so, in the midst of that, was this fast? No, it's not over. It's not over. It still has 4 more days to go. But in the midst of that, was it worth it? Yes. The sacrifice was worth it. Yes. The water was worth it. Yes. The backing up from the table was worth it. Yes. Every bit of it was worth it, that I might know him in the power of his resurrection, that my mindset will be totally changed. Christine Meadows, how are you? That everything about my existence has now been absorbed by his presence. Oh, bless his day. I got to get out of here. But I wanted to get on here for just a moment and ask that question. Was this fast worth it? Yes. 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 And the thing that I love about it is it shows me, Ann Saunders, how are you? It shows me his tolerance. It shows me his love. It shows me his compassion. And he shows me, and I'm just talking about me, and if you want to chime in with me, I got plenty of room for you. That I see him in a different light. I experience him from a different viewpoint, and I'm grateful that he loves me in spite of me. Well, listen, y'all have a good evening. I just wanted to get on here for just a moment. State of the Union comes up in about 5 minutes, and I want y'all to just have a blessed evening in the Lord. Now, I'm letting y'all know right now that thing comes on at 9 o'clock. During fast time, 9, 10 o'clock is sleep time. So I'm not guaranteed that I'm going to see it all. But I tell you, I know what I do see. I see his power. I see his provision. I see his protection like I've never seen before. Y'all have a good night. Love you with the love of Jesus Christ. May God bless you. May he keep you. See you at 12 noon tomorrow and at 6:30 for our midweek worship. May God bless you. May he keep you. Carolyn Williams is our prayer.